Meanwhile, Yoruba leading social-cultural organization Afenifere has condemned in strong terms the tone of the planned nationwide protest against President Tinubu's government, saying it's outside the tenets of constructive protest. This position is contained in a 9-point statement signed by National Organizing Secretary and Acting Secretary General Afenifere, Kole Omololu. The group also asks the public to disregard any contrary opinion expressed by Pa Adebanjo as his personal views, which does not represent Afenifere's position. The group has now called on traditional rulers in the southwest to prevail on youths, market women, artisans, and other groups not to allow themselves to be used to derail democracy in the country. The National Organizing Secretary and Acting Secretary General, Afenifere, Kole Omololu, joins me on the program this evening. Good evening, Mr. Omololu. Thank you for joining us on Beyond 100 Days. You seem to have condemned the planned nationwide protest against this government, saying that it's outside the tenets of constructive protest. Can you explain why you think this protest is not constructive?
Good evening, good evening, everybody there. Good evening, listener. Well, let me correct you. We do not condemn it. It is the fundamental right of every human being, every citizen to protest and to air their view against what they believe the government is not doing to them. What we are saying is that the tone of the protest, the preparation for the protest, is what we are concerned about. You cannot declare the days of rage on a country. You are calling on anarchy. You are preparing the nation for confusion. This is what we're saying. Definitely, we're not saying that the protest should not take place. You are allowed to protest peacefully. But the way you are going it and your demand on it, it's outside what we call a civilized and normal protest. That is our position.
Well, the tone or otherwise, another faction of Afenifere appears to have thrown its weight behind this protest. I'm wondering how you respond to this support and also the implications it have for Afenifere's unity and stance on this protest.
Can we not continue on this line of faction Afenifere? Times and times, any of it's not. We are a Euroba group, although with a nationalistic view, and with what we call the head of the family. Head of the family talks, that is the end. Where there may be some dissidents, there might be some people who will disagree. But having said that, the real group headed by the leader, Chief R. Factionalism, has maintained his position about what is happening in the country. And whatever anybody says is their own personal view, and they have the right to do it. They have the right to say it. Faction or no faction, there can never be faction. Obafemi Awolowo started this group in 1951, and then Adekunle Ajasi took over. After Adekunle Ajasi took over, then the Senator Abraham Adesoya continued. Afterwards, is there as the leader. When the leader dies in Afenifere, it's like a king. Nobody else can be leader. And I don't want us to be promoting deputy leader or whatever, antagonizing their leader. It started from the days of Baba Kitola. We are still trying to get out of that. Chief and Senator Abraham Adesoya, we are still on that. Chief Omaborowo against Baba Jesse, we are still on that. We continue. And the press has to educate. It's not done everywhere. It's not done in a civilized society. You can't be promoting, you can't be mentioning dissident groups and be saying that they are faction and be representing their view when the majority, when the structure, when the leaders, the authentic leader has spoken. We have 23 leaders within Yoruba land, within the Afenifere, who are a group of led by leader now, who decide for us. So a single person, no matter how pleased, cannot be the voice of the Yoruba nation. It's not right, it's not possible. And that is why we put it on record as to please help us. We don't want confusion. Yoruba land is very, very important in Nigeria. We set the pace because we are progressively binded. That is who we are. We fight for who.
I hear you clearly, Mr. Omololu, but I'm also sure you saw that interview by Prince Justice Faloye on a sister channel. He wasn't only speaking for Adebanjo, he was speaking in the capacity of publicity secretary of the group. And it's hard to tell because this is not just someone speaking for an individual. It would seem that there's another structure entirely different from the one that you speak for. Is that something you acknowledge? Is that a challenge that Afenifere is fixing in the foreseeable future?
Call it a challenge. Call it a challenge. I don't want to watch our dirty linen in the public. I brought injustice into not to Afenifere, into what is called Yoruba conscious group of Yoruba nation in the last few 8 years. You know, myself and Yeko Dumake, I don't know when justice become police secretary of Afenifere. I don't know. I'm the national organizing secretary without being a model. I think there's anybody I don't know in Yoruba land who is Afenifere. My office set up the structure across Nigeria, across the world. So tell me who is the chairman? Ask Justice, who is his chairman from Ondo State? Justice is a prince in Akure, but I'm not sure he's a member of Ondo State Afenifere. You cannot be Afenifere without starting from your root. So that is that. Yes, a very brilliant economist is my younger bro, and I am not discussing him personally. But again, anybody can come and walk, you know, and then again, when we in the group, we have to rise above passion and hate. We have to rise above passion and hate for somebody. Let us look at the fundamentals. If you don't like me, you don't like me. But again, it's your right. But don't let us push it to be an objective in everything we do. I don't think that Yoruba nature.
But there is another fundamental issue that the Adebanjo-led group has raised, and it has to do with whether or not Mr. President has deviated from the Afenifere ideology, which they say is based on social welfareism, as against Mr. President's liberal theory, which according to them has failed in black countries across the world. How do you react to that?
Yes, well, they have the right to do that, and I cannot throw away whatever they have said, that whether one is true, I cannot throw them away totally. Yes, Afenifere is an ideological group. Liberal policy is what me too, as an individual, I want to compare it, because we're a third world. We cannot be comparing ourselves with the capitalist world. We don't have the technology. We don't have the basis. We don't have the institution. Government has to be deliberate. Let us look at the petroleum products now. It is our God-given right. It's our natural God-given right. So we cannot place it on the international market in our people. So, and I think the president is looking at that very, very seriously. We must benefit from it. Something must happen. Unfortunately for the president, the previous government laid a good trap by removing subsidy. It is not in the budget, so he cannot go outside the budget. You know, practically, he said it is like he announced it. He did not remove it, he announced it. But the country is moving. It's not that it stands still. We're a policy, we're a human being. The law is made for us. We are not made for the law. I believe the government will now sit down and look and say, yes, our people must what belongs to us. that, especially energy. It affects vulcanizer, it affects detailers, it affects everybody. So from here, if we wait,
all right.
So
let's attempt
benefit from.
Let us take a short break. Even though you have talked about the tone of this protest, government has shown concern about the possibility of it being hijacked by miscreants. We can't play down the economic hardship and the challenges that Nigerians are faced with following the policies of this government, which of course the Tinubu administration has acknowledged. We need to talk about the solution, and that's what we'll be talking about after this break. Stay with us, everyone. Don't go away. All eyes on the planned nationwide protest scheduled for the 1st of August this year. The protest is aimed at addressing the rising cost of living, economic hardship, and long-standing systemic issues such as corruption in Nigeria. The federal government, however, has warned against the protest, with Mr. President pleading with organizers to shelve the exercise and give his administration a chance. Kole Omololu is the National Organizing Secretary and Acting Secretary General of Afenifere. Thank you for staying the course on the program. So Afenifere seem to acknowledge the economic challenges and hunger in the land based on the brief from you, the address that we read earlier. But what specific steps do you think the Tinubu government should take now to be able to address these challenges? And how can Afenifere contribute to finding solutions?
Thank you. Let us face reality. We are facing reality in Nigeria. No doubt about it. You know, it seems during the 8 years of government of General Buhari, it's like Nigeria collapsed. And we are building Nigeria from a foundation now. You see, and I want the government to pass out information very well to the public. The public, all what they want is they're hungry. But the effect, the cause of the hunger, government has to explain it. The farmers cannot go to the farm to farm. They are being butchered by foreign herders who take over their properties. So many things. Food, the food basket of Nigeria, like from the north, is being ravaged by war. So in time of war, there will be hunger. But having said that, a lot of us, the wife of the president, show an example of what can be done. Everybody in your backyard, for God's sake, I am an example. I grow farm, I grow yam, I grow things that can be eaten. This year, I never bought yam for once. It's the one from my backyard.
No, so let us help out. Mr. Omololu, where is this your farming taking place? In London or here in Nigeria?
In Nigeria, of course. I am from Igbo Tanko, the state. I came to London just this morning. Okay. Maybe because I'm from the rural area. I love farming. Even my house in Lagos, go to the backyard. So even in London here, you go to people's farm and people's back garden, you grow potato and so on and so forth. I think I saw in a market the kind of things. You see, we have to help ourselves. Government is not going to provide us with Gary or Ilubo or this or that. Things are hard. It's definite. Things will be hard because of the previous government action and the actions taking place where a lot of farming are taking place. That is at petrol don't want to give us Gary now, for God's sake. So let us evaluate ourselves the way that the government must provide us with that. Yes, hunger is everywhere. I am very, very hungry. The way I used to eat now, I eat twice a day now. I can't eat 3 times because I'm a pensioner.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because you can imagine those who are at the base of the ladder, what they will be feeling if someone like you can say that you cannot even afford a 3 square meal. I mean, the individuals... what
I have to share with my people, I'm the head of my family now, and I share with hundreds of people. So that is the situation that we are African. That's where we are brought up. You cannot be rich among very, very poor. You are a poor person. So you cannot be eating chicken and the rest are eat. So at the end of the day, government, this action, this protest, if at all is not going to take place, it has passed its message. And our government is doing what about it.
Part of the issues that you have raised, that your organization has raised, is the need to call for youths and citizens to exercise restraint and embrace dialogue. But I'm just wondering, who is facilitating this dialogue? Is that a task that Afenifere is taking up?
I can assure you, we talk to. You see, we are not noise. It's not all the time we come on the pages of television and newspaper and talk. We have a way of passing messages across to the government. And to the glory of God, the government expects us. Because he knows we are objective. We are very, very objective, not because we supported him to win the election, but because this is the government of the day. If it fails, we all fail. So we passing messages across to him. Like I told you now, we want to partner with him. Let us go town by town, every household at their backyard. We want to partner with the local government, subsidize them, give them fertilizer, give them some seedling. Let them grow about, I am growing about 500 yam tuber in my compound. People who can grow 100, people who can grow potato, so all this will be surplus. We will feed ourselves within 9 months.
Mr. Omololu, let me ask you this, and I want you to answer as honestly as you can. The concern of many Nigerians is whether or not, this government or whether or not the leadership understands what the people are going through. We had a top party member saying the other day that he doesn't believe in the inflation figures of the NBS, that food inflation has risen as high as 40%. Narratives of that kind, send a very wrong message to majority of Nigerians to know whether or not people in government identify with the people and understand what is going on and where the shoe pinches them. As someone who is close to the Tinubu administration, do you think they understand the economic reality of the people for what it is as we speak?
We are not, the word close. We are like citizens who passes messages to the government. The word close, I'm not a member of government. I've met Ashwaju maybe once or twice in my life. So it's not about the word close. It's about the word playing your part as a citizen, pass messages across to them. Most of them are open. People are not, I agree with you, we are ordinary citizens, especially those of us in Afen. We are ordinary citizens. We live within our people. Those who are multi-millionaires among us, you don't even see them in the meeting. They fund their me. They participate by morally or financially. But those of us who are practitioners, we are very, very close to the people, and we pass messages to the government. So that they don't know that the people are suffering is unfortunate. And I will not want to believe such a statement will come from anybody in government. Because they do go back to their constituency and know what is happening. That they read paper, they listen to the television. Things are extremely very, very tough. But again, the understanding that we are craving for that Afenifere is that it's not going to just 1 year plus that actually God's got there. Things have crumbled. Things have crumbled on that Buhari government. So we are starting all over again. Just because this government is very bold and sincere. It's not a government, it's not a leader that want to lie. That is why tactically he just got to say, when this thing is ended, petroleum subsidy is ended, and where police cannot be right.
We have completely run out of time. We can't exhaust this conversation in a 30 minutes program. But thank you so much for talking to us. National Organizing Secretary and Acting Secretary General of Afenifere, Kole Omololu. Thank you for your time.
I am grateful. Thank you very much. God bless you.
That's our show today, everyone. You can watch it again in case you miss any part at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.